Number 1. Fly with Eva. Yes, you can fly in Astroneer, and no, I'm not talking about creative mode. You can actually fly in survival mode as long as you feed Eva her fractal rose seeds. Now, if you don't know, in order to unlock Eva, you're gonna have to complete some really cool missions which also involve the sun room. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then trust me, you don't want any more spoilers, you just need to play it, or you can also watch it on my channel, just saying. But once you've got Eva, then you can feed her fractal rose seeds and you'll be able to fly for 5 minutes, or you can feed her hybrid rose seeds and you'll be able to fly for 15 minutes. Now, if you pair her with some snails and you've got other buffs as well, this can get really overpowered and you'll feel just like in creative mode while you're in your survival world. And I know what you're thinking, but no, it doesn't break the game because you only get her in the end game. Number 2. Apollo Lunar Module. This is an Easter egg that you can find on the Solo, and it was added in 2019, when for a couple months when interacting with it you would get a visor and a palette. Now you don't get that, but you can still interact with it and take photos. And this is a pretty faithful recreation of the actual Apollo Lunar Module that exists in real life. The real life variant was on the moon in 1972, so that was a long time ago, but I'm glad we still have it here in Astroneer. Number 3. Helicopters are a thing. You know all the vehicles in Astroneer, you've got your rovers, your buggies, your trains, you even have the hoverboard, and you might be thinking I'm talking about the VTOL here when I mention helicopters, but actually what I mean is just rovers, but with a twist. So the rovers are glitched out and they turn into a helicopter. How do you do that? Well, it's pretty easy. All you need is a winch and a crane. You might wonder why, and that's a pretty good question. Well, first of all, it's really fun to do that, and then second of all, you can actually kind of maybe use this in a practical way. I've actually seen someone use something like this to build an elevator, but honestly I have no clue how to do that, so I'm just having fun with my helicopter in Astroneer. If you want one as well, it's pretty easy to build, just copy what you see on screen right now, and also try not to get sick when you get out of the rover. Number 4. Advanced teleportation. Yeah, you know teleportation, you can go from a gateway chamber to another, all of that. But advanced teleportation allows you to go in between planets without having a shuttle. How does that work? Well, you're gonna need to unlock the unidentified satellite first. Then you'll be able to go from any planet into the unidentified satellite, and then from there you can then teleport into the core of any other planet. So you don't go directly from a planet to another, you go from a planet to the satellite and then from the satellite to the other planet that you want to travel. But this whole thing takes like 30 seconds maybe, and you're gonna get teleported into the core of the planet. So if you want this to go faster, I would just place a train or a rover next to the core of each planet, so then I can just teleport there and take that up to the surface. This works best with a train. I've done this on Atrox actually. We've got a train going all the way into the core, so that's a pretty good way to travel around in Astroneer without any shuttles, and it's also pretty fun. But again, you will only get this in the end game, so if you need a mode of transportation early on, then just stick to your shuttles. Number 5. Interplanetary rovers. Okay, so I'm talking about going in between planets in weird ways, and teleportation isn't that weird, it seems pretty normal. But what about rovers? Yeah, of course rovers can be helicopters, but rovers can actually also sort of be shuttles, and you can store more stuff on them than you would on a shuttle. Even the large shuttle is not as big as the large rover, so you can have more stuff on the rover. But how do you actually go with a rover from one planet to another? Well, for that you'll need some thrusters. Any type of thruster will do. You can have the solid fuel one or the hydrazine, it doesn't matter. But with a couple of thrusters you can escape the orbit of any planet that you're on and fly off into space. Now the hydrazine thrusters are better because they last for longer, and you might need to correct your course after you get off the planet. If you don't want to do that, then you can shoot straight for another planet and have your course perfect from the beginning, but I could never accomplish that, so I just need to correct it as I go. The controls are pretty funny out in space, but if you get the hang of it, you can actually travel to different planets. Just make sure they are close enough, because the further away they go, they won't actually spawn in. Like, you'll see the planet, but once you get there, your rover will just go straight through it. But if the planet is pretty close to you, then you will be able to actually land on it. So yes, you can go between planets without a shuttle in 2 different ways, through teleportation and through the weird rovers. And I think that's just amazing. The rovers in Astroneer can do a whole lot, can't they? Now if you want to see the top 5 rover mods to use in Astroneer, go check out this video and I'll see you there. Cheers, Astroneers!